Good morning, I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations, small businesses, and nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some new friends today. At Special Needs Solutions, they create custom-made furniture, clothing, devices, and equipment that help individuals with disabilities progress physically, emotionally, and cognitively. Their goal is to help make it possible for children and adults with special needs to participate as fully as possible in their lives. And today, I'm fortunate enough to speak with David Gordon, Executive Director of Special Needs Solutions. David, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And Brittany Battle, my old friend, Fast Pitch Director of SVP Tucson. Welcome back, Brittany.
Frank, hello. And hello, Tucson.
That's exciting that you're here. It's such a big deal. I'm glad that you're here. But now, why would you be here with the man from Special Needs Solutions, one David Gordon? Well, it's because it looks like David Gordon and Special Needs Solutions are one of the biggest winners at SVP Tucson's Fast Pitch 2024. How did all that go, Brittany? Spill the tea. I got to hear about everything that happened.
Oh, it was fabulous. And I love to introduce this man sitting right next to me as TEP, Power to the People Audience Choice Award winner, David Gordon. Insert drum roll and crowd sounds. He was a participant in our most recent cohort, and what an experience to get to know this man and this organization and to hear his pitch. So go check out David Gordon's pitch, folks.
And where can people do it? Because you can watch this now on demand, correct? You can watch SVP Tucson's Fast Pitch on demand. Where can you do that? Because it aired on television.
We did have it on television. You can find it right now on YouTube. So go to SVP Tucson's Fast Pitch 2024 main event. You will get to see the whole production.
Wow.
Live at the Fox Theater and produced by Arizona Public Media.
That's fantastic.
And you will get to laugh and cry and come together as a community around issues that really matter right here in Southern Arizona.
That's one of the best things about SVP Tucson and giving a lot of these folks opportunities to try to build their brand up, their big organizations, that they need to be bigger and better so they can help as many people as possible. And watching your organization really help these other ones grow is one of the best things about SVP Tucson. I got to go to last year's Fast Pitch, and it was just a great event. So now, David, let me ask you, how was the entire experience of the cohort, of the actual like learning part of it? It's how many weeks is it? How many weeks is it?
It's forever.
Oh, well, there's that, of course.
I think it basically was over a course of 3 months.
Yes.
Before the event itself. But it was a long 4 months for all of us involved, I think, because we worked hard. They worked our rear ends off.
Yes.
And I don't think anybody was really prepared for how difficult it was going to be.
It is a big deal when you're pitching for, again, trying to get hundreds of thousands of dollars at points you can get up to. And there's an entire like industry kind of built on that. Like you can take your organization and become a professional like pitcher and really do this all around, because there's a lot of opportunities with organizations just like yours that are giving nonprofits opportunities to really get their message out there, to get that big money and find angel investors and find opportunities from, again, winning the people's choice. That's a big deal, because just getting the word out to the community is a stage that we all need, isn't it? So I've done a little bit of these things as well. Mm-hmm. What did you find as far as the curriculum? Like they work your butt off. How was the curriculum? How often did you meet?
Well, it varied depending on the week, but oftentimes it was twice a week.
Okay.
For one event or another, sometimes we were pitching to each other, and sometimes we were pitching to people who were critiquing what we were doing, and other times we were just involved in some learning experiences with figuring out what it was that mattered in each of our different nonprofit organizations, and how to convey that or how to package that in a way that would be useful or affecting to other people. But in between all of that, we were all in the shower, in cars, walking down the street, practicing our pitches again and again and again. And this went on for months, really.
That's right.
Yeah. But it was a good experience, not only for the discipline involved in doing that because it does involve discipline.
Yes.
You know, one learns a lot from necessitating to cut the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. You know, to figure out what's essential to get across here.
The economy of words. You've only got a few minutes to get that point across, and they really do teach you how to tell a story because you want to tug on those heartstrings as well. There is a shape to a pitch. Sometimes they say there's a shape to a story that gets success, and really going to Fast Pitch and SVP Tucson teaching people how to really get the story out, because your organization is obviously great. What does Special Needs Solution do? Well, they build amazing furniture, devices, clothing for people with special needs so they can just live a fully functional life. I was looking at the videos on your website, some of the kids you're helping and the adults with just some equipment, because you build things. That's what they do. That's what they do. What's your superpower? That's on the t-shirts of all the people there on the website. And I implore you to go check out the website at snstucson.org to get all the details on how you can learn about Special Needs Solutions, learn about exactly what they're doing, watch the videos, read about them, meet the board members that are all involved, and the volunteers, because this is a primarily volunteer-run organization, correct?
Yeah, so I think there's more to it than what you just described, which is that the fact is that everybody who does the work there is a volunteer. They're all volunteers who have been working, most of them for years for us, so they know what they're doing. They're talented people. Everybody works together to figure out how to make the things that we make. Everything we make is custom. We do it all only for the cost of materials, and that's an essential piece.
Yes.
So we make things that cost hundreds and even thousands of dollars for only tens of dollars.
Right.
And that makes all the difference in the world for these families who are already, underwater in terms of money. Having family members who have special needs is expensive. It's just expensive.
Sadly. So is eating right for some reason. But yeah, if you're trying to just stay fit or help out a loved one, why do these things cost the most? I don't know. But it is people like you that are helping us and helping out. And people like Brittany Battle, whose organization is, again, giving you a platform, because just that right there, that was my point of this. Like you just described your organization. Who doesn't just want to give your organization millions of dollars to help everybody, right? Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. You still got to convince people that this is why that money should go to you. And even everybody listening has the opportunity to do that because you qualify for that Arizona tax credit, correct?
Correct.
That's right. So everybody can donate. I believe it's up to $400-something, and if there's two people in your household, it might be $8. It's something like that. I'm not the biggest tax man.
Yeah, it's now $421 per person.
Okay.
So $842.
There you
go.
Yeah. There you go. So there you go. So you can actually learn all about that on a previous episode with IBE. She explains it great on how the Arizona tax credit works and works to donate to any one of these nonprofit organizations in the area. So choose who you want to give this money to, because it could be this great organization. You're helping out a lot of families, a lot of kids, and a lot of people with special needs that are in need. Let me catch my breath. Because
that's a good idea.
Right? You see how I get with this sort of stuff, where I get really impassioned about it, because I was just doing the research, and it is so nice when someone introduces me to a new organization that I haven't heard of, and it's literally my job to get contacted by and to contact nonprofits nonstop. And you've been around for over 3 decades, I believe, correct?
Well, in two different forms. We've been Special Needs Solutions for 4.5 years now.
Okay.
But in those decades before that you were talking about, we were the Adaptation Station, which was a little tiny corner of the Department of Developmental Disability.
Okay.
And we did the same kind of thing, but we were constrained. We could only make things for people in getting services from DDD.
Okay.
And we could only make certain things for them. And we had to deal with insurance.
Wow.
Which made everything take months and years.
Right.
And so now they decided to close it down, which was the greatest thing that happened, because instead of walking away, I made this nonprofit. I took all the volunteers away. I stole them.
Wow.
And now we make whatever we want for whoever we want, and we don't deal with insurance.
That's amazing. That's the best.
Life is good.
I will just stand up and give a round of applause.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's huge. What
It
a
is.
pioneer. And again, it takes someone to be a leader. This is what I see a lot in this community, and you got to be the person that stands up. And sometimes these callings, they find the people that do it, whether it's someone's child turns out they're autistic, and then that person ends up starting an organization for autistic children or pets that help autistic children. These are the people I meet. Yeah. And it's great that you really stepped up to do that. That's incredible, because a lot of people, they can just walk away without that.
I considered it.
Yeah?
It seemed, well, it was the easiest thing to do.
Of course.
Right? Oh, okay. The job's over.
Yeah.
No, the difficult thing would be to start this nonprofit.
Yeah.
And it was daunting. And I had people around me who kept telling me, you can do this.
Yeah.
And they helped me.
I'm glad.
And that's how things do happen in this world.
Yep. You got to ask for help, and you got to find a team.
Yeah. The business of a person making things happen, it's not true.
Yeah.
It's people coming together, and they together make it happen.
That's amazing. And I love that we got to come together here on Lifestyle Tucson and come together with Brittany Battle at SVP Tucson and talk about all the stuff that happened at Fast Pitch. So now tell me what actually happens. You are the big winner. So tell me what's going to happen now, because I don't know what you want. I don't know what that means and what your plans are going to be with what you're doing, because it sounds like you're growing a lot in the last 4 years. Doing this is going to grow your organization exponentially, which is phenomenal. So what happened at SVP Tucson's Fast Pitch? Tell me.
Well, the limitation that we've had in terms of growing has been me, the fact that I am the only employee there.
Okay.
And I am just completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And so what we've been wanting to do for some time now is to hire another person to split the responsibilities.
Okay.
In specific ways. And but we've never had the funds to do that, the money to do that. Mm-hmm. And what we were hoping for through Fast Pitch was to raise those funds. Well, we did.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you do?
How did we do?
Yes. Because here's the thing about Fast Pitch. You got 8 teams, right? 8 organizations.
Yeah.
They all get how many minutes to do a pitch?
3 minutes.
3 minutes of play time. They get 3 minutes to do it. And then there's various different checks that are awarded from different groups.
Yeah.
One is the crowd. One is like an organization, a sponsor. They all get to pick who they want to win. So how did you do? Tell me about it. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Well, and there's also people in the audience donate, and people online can donate.
Right, as it's going on, you're donating. That's right.
Yeah.
You text codes. I donated. Yep.
Yeah. All told, it ended up being about, I think, $47,000, something like that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
No, it's staggering.
My goodness.
It's simply staggering.
Right.
And the thing about his pitch, I think that was so fascinating, and I do encourage you to go listen, was he had the perfect balance between really helping you understand what's going on in our community and how they help, but he threaded in so much humor into his pitch, which was unique to David. Mm-hmm. I want to say, I've been doing this many years. Humor's not necessarily a characteristic that shines through in these pitches. It can show up in some cases, but that was really important to David. I don't even think he knew it was important to him. It just shined through David, right? So much so that I now think, we've got to have more humor in the show altogether, because I'm watching the audience react to his pitch. And it was heartfelt, and it was funny, and it was engaging. And I think the mission and what he does and how he articulates that, coupled with his stage performance and the work that he put into sharing his story, is what awarded him so much support from the community. So it's been fascinating and delight to watch.
I mean, I do feel humor goes a long way, obviously, with a lot of things, and even with this show, I'm talking about heavy stuff on here, but sometimes if you can somehow lighten the mood a little bit, even with these folks, it gets the message clearer. It's easier to listen to, and sometimes that's the thing, because that's what you need in a pitch. You need people to listen. And if you break their hearts in the first 30 seconds, but do it too much, they're not listening to you. They're thinking about heartbreak. They're thinking about something else. There is a weird rhythm to it that I've seen at a lot of them. Mobile Meals won with like kind of heartbreak. Talking about, and that was their winner of the previous year. Great organization. I had them on as well. But he talked about their organization helped that this woman didn't have to lose her dog because she wasn't eating. Any money was going toward her pet. And it was just, wow. And again, I'll tell you this much, pets go a long way too. Right? Squeeze them right in there too. If you can be funny and have a dog, you're winning everything. Right?
Like Flynn.
All right, I was getting a little lost in the sauce, but I was asking you about some of the equipment that you do make. There's several categories. You've got positioning equipment. You've got sensory equipment, habilitation equipment, and environmental adaptations. Can we go through what some of those are?
Sure. So probably the most important are the positioning equipment.
Okay.
So we make all kinds of special chairs to support youngsters and for feeding, for being in school, or just being upright. We make standers that allow them to stand up and be actually on their feet, which for some of these youngsters is a big deal. They can't do it without something that supports them.
Wow.
And it allows them to be, all of these things allow them to be up in the world and participate in the world around them. And this is an important thing. And then we make very special ones. Like I say, everything is custom made. Recently we made a high school youngster who is a little person, but because of that, he couldn't get into the school chair like the other children could.
Right.
And so we made him a special chair that he was able to get into all by himself. That's a meaningful thing.
That's very meaningful.
Yeah. He has agency over his own.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Life. Yeah, exactly. And that is the case for so many of these youngsters and adults too, is that they want agency. They want to participate in the world. They want to communicate. They want to be seen. They want to be known. They want to have an effect on those around them. But they're limited often in ways that they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we try to do is create, in concert with their therapists and their families, we try to create things that help support them in having that kind of agency in their lives. So we don't turn their lives around, but we support them in living their lives more fully. That's what we're after.
Sure.
And so, this equipment, positioning equipment, chairs that can be things called side liers. There's some youngsters that need to lay on their sides at a certain angle in order to breathe properly.
Wow.
Yeah. What's the next one on your list?
The next one was going on the website. It's sensory equipment.
Sensory equipment. Generally, these are things like weighted blankets, weighted vests, compression vests.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot for a lot of youngsters. Being able to have agency in terms of their emotional states, being able to have control over their emotional states is a big deal.
Yes.
And for some of them, having weight on them can be a miracle.
I was reading that on the website, that it was a statement from a mom that was just like, the weighted vest has made such a difference.
That's right. It can. Or it can do nothing
right
for that particular child. And
Yeah.
it turns out what that child responds to is compression.
Okay.
And so we make vests that give a little bit of pressure around them.
Wow.
And that's what they need. That's what they respond to.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Then there's other things included in that would be swings.
Mm-hmm.
We have all different kinds of swings that we make, platform swings and bolster swings. Those are just names. But the point is that what these allow them to do in working with their therapists and so on is to develop better sense of where they are in space and how to move in space and how it can be okay to move in space. Besides, in many instances, it's just calming and
Right.
soothing to be able to be on these swings.
They also fabricate toys.
Okay.
So there are some children that simply can't push the buttons or pull the levers of toys that you see in Walmart and Target these days. And so they customize or they fabricate toys so that children can have really rich and fun childhood experiences.
That is so fascinating. Again, you got to love when someone's just doing the purest good work. Just hearing all this good work is just one of these things that, again, why this is important, giving voices to organizations and people like you that are doing just great, great stuff that really are just affecting so many people, and especially kids and kids in need. And that's my favorite thing about what we do here, is really just helping kids a lot. So I'll just say thank you so much. And if you're out there, you should really start to think about how you can get involved with perhaps Special Needs Solutions, because it is a huge volunteer organization, and perhaps you're good with your hands and know how to make things. Maybe you're a Bob the Builder. Do you have those sorts of positions for volunteers that maybe want to get involved and actually build stuff?
That's all we have.
Well, what are the odds?
They're all volunteers.
It's
And
that's shocking.
we got volunteers in our wood shop who make things out of wood and
Yep.
sometimes metal. And we have people who do electronics, and we have people who sew, and we have people who varnish, and we have people who assemble things. So, yes, we have all of the above.
That's right. And that's why you got to go to snstucson.org. You can check it right up there that there's a tab. You can go volunteer, get all the information there, because you got to get involved with organizations doing great things, all right? Remember, don't sit around. What are you doing? You got to get off the couch, go get involved, get up on your feet. And when you volunteer, it's not a full-time job. Wouldn't you be happy if someone showed up once a month to help?
No,
Oh, okay. Well, I guess.
I would not.
Well,
I would
geez.
not.
No? Not at all?
No, because
Commit.
the things that we do, it's not the case that you can show up one day and I want to volunteer today.
Okay.
That there is a training, there's a learning curve involved in things that we do.
Oh, all right.
Things are made in certain ways.
That's a good point.
And there's a lot to learn about making things. So no, all of our volunteers, some of them work half a day, some of them work one day, some of them come in twice a week, but they come in each week.
Okay.
Except when they abandon me and go on vacation.
Well, it's the summertime. It's getting hot around here. Come on. But all right. Well, let me rewind that question. Wouldn't you not be upset if someone came in once a week?
I would not. I would
There it
be
is.
thrilled. I would be delighted.
Or donated once a month.
There you go. Because if you can't donate your time, you just donate some of that money. We all know time is money, but that's the way to help. I mean, wouldn't you want to be a part of something that's helping out all these kids, building furniture, physical objects that are real right here in our community? It's not, oh, where does the money go when we donate it? Donate to these local organizations that are really doing stuff for the kids in your city, and especially the ones in your county. Like, that's a big deal, that you got to help all these things. That's what helps our entire culture in Tucson, is helping everybody out, especially family, especially families in need. I've been going on and on a bit, but I'm a little lost. You can tell. I'm just having too much fun. Brittany's very distracting, and you're a riot. And it's nice when you get to talk about good things. Is there anything that I'm not leaving out that you do want to just address or talk about when it comes to just how important your organization is, or just anything I haven't touched on?
I've blown our horn pretty good here.
Yeah.
I have to say, I don't know that I've left out anything, and you certainly have made the pitches
Right?
that I would have loved to have made.
That's why they give people 3 minutes at SVP
But
Tucson.
I think if I've got some airtime, and you may cut this out, we'll see. But I think it's worth. I would want to add that yes, we do wonderful things, but the other 7 participants in the fast pitch are just as worthy, just as wonderful. And I don't know if you have the capability to do this, but if I was sitting in your chair, I would put links to all of their organizations as well, because, what touches somebody's heart might be what we do, but it might not be. It might be, what Sean does in working with fathers in families. And that's where, your listener would want to put their time and energy and perhaps money as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm giving my shout out to the people I was in this with. Everybody worked really hard, and I think they're all worth supporting.
I love it. And he's talking about all the folks that you can go see on SVP Tucson's Fast Pitch. You can go find on YouTube. It was Borderlinks, Casa de los Niños, Children's Clinics, Interfaith Community Services, Parent Aid, Special Needs Solutions. We have here The Haven and TMM Family Services Incorporated. All these great organizations were all up there telling their stories and giving out their messages. So you should tune in anytime you want, on demand on YouTube, and find out who you want to support and who you want to help in town. Because if you're helping any of these great organizations, you're helping the city of Tucson and helping a lot of kids, a lot of folks, a lot of families, and a lot of friends here in the neighborhood. All right, Brittany, let me get a final thought from you before we're all done here.
If you love a nonprofit here in Southern Arizona, or you work for a nonprofit or get services by a nonprofit, please let them know that we open applications for Fast Pitch each fall, and we're looking for our next cohort to participate in this fundraising and messaging program that we call Fast Pitch.
It's amazing, and you heard it here. It's a life-changing opportunity for a lot of organizations, or at least a helping hand or a step up. That's going to get them to perhaps the next level that they need to get to, which will get them close to that next one. because today we made friends with David Gordon, Executive Director of Special Needs Solutions, as well as Brittany Battle, Fast Pitch Director of SVP Tucson. Thank you for joining me so much today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This was Lifestyle Tucson.
Bing bong bing, time for a recap. I really enjoyed my conversation today with Special Needs Solutions. It's really easy to talk to great organizations that are just doing the best work possible out there, especially when they're volunteers. David was looking at me a little like he was witnessing a crazy man go on a rant and a half a few times. But people don't expect people don't know what to expect when they come in here. Because I like to keep all the stuff that we talk about really fun, really light, even though we talk about these heavy topics like I was speaking about earlier. Because that's what you gotta do. I gotta keep some of you folks interested. We can't have public affairs be boring around here. It's 2024, and they put me, Frank Powers, in charge of this. So I like to be Mr. Community, and talking to all the heads of these 501c3s is one of the best, most fulfilling things I've ever gotten the opportunity to do. So I try to make it fun for the listener, fun for everybody involved, so that this information carries and it's not bleak or sad or delivered in a way that is just monotone. Because again, this whole thing was about pitching. It was about storytelling. And the thing I hear the most is how, I've come on a lot of shows talking about this sort of stuff, but I've never had as much fun talking about it as I have had with you. So it's pretty good. That's why I like talking to Brittany Battle, why she comes back all the time, talking about all the great stuff that SVP Tucson does. So it's really always good to be making new friends in the community doing this when they're doing such good things for our community. You can find out more about what Special Needs Solutions is doing, obviously, by checking out snstucson.org or giving them a call at 520-838-0987. They're located at 4555 South Palo Verde Road here in Tucson at 85714. You can also check out Fast Pitch, their YouTube channel, for the Fast Pitch Main Event 2024 to go look at all those amazing pitches. And I got to make sure that I honor David's request by giving an extra shout out to all those great organizations that he was there with at Fast Pitch, including Borderlinks, Casa de los Niños, Children's Clinics, Interfaith Community Services, Parent Aid, Special Needs Solutions, The Haven, and TMM Family Services Incorporated. Go check all of those out over on SVP Tucson's Fast Pitch and their YouTube channel, which is available on demand right now. I want to thank our new friends at Special Needs Solutions for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts are special. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. Toot toot Tucson. I love you the most.